given where WWE booking has been at on Raw and SmackDown since Mania, and NXT, by the way, I mean, we talked about this last week. It feels like they've abandoned or just forgot about a lot of storylines recently. But tonight, I don't know. I feel like they really turned it around with some unexpected moments. Like Battleground before, I was kind of like, okay, well, aside from this new women's title, what is there to really get hype about? But I feel like they gave us quite a lot tonight.
Yeah.
And it's an exciting time. So I don't know. I think it's, look, I think on any given week, NXT is the best brand under the WWE umbrella. Certainly the most consistently entertaining. And I think tonight actually might be, transitioning eras. And we'll talk about some other hints they had there, which is weird because the CW thing isn't happening for months still.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight
it's creeping though. It's creeping up.
I know. But tonight felt kind of new. In some ways, or a refresh or a reboot. This worked about as well as it could have tonight with what they pulled off with both Jordynne and I think Jordynne more so than Ethan Page. And we'll talk about the Ethan Page news and how that went down. But with Jordynne, she stunned and impressed so much of the Royal Rumble that everybody who saw that tonight, who's familiar with WWE, knew who she was, even if they don't watch TNA. Roxanne Perez found out who's challenging her at Battleground, and I thought it was gonna be Tegan Knox based on the report. In fact, I think somebody backstage purposefully leaked those details about Tegan Knox is coming to NXT soon, because when Jordynne Grace, when that popped on screen, like I did the what? I was just very excited, very surprised. Jordynne was awesome at the Women's Rumble this year. She's a powerhouse. She's so good on the mic. She's so just built. Such a great look. Can wrestle all day. And her versus Roxanne, that's going to be a tough, hard-hitting match. This is the competition Roxanne needs a win like this.
Going back to what I said earlier, Jordynne Grace just looks like a star. She's got a great looking championship. She just, I just really hope this maybe leads to maybe more interest into TNA.
I would obviously like to see it lead to her signing with the WWE. To be honest.
That too, or even at some point, what I thought I was going to see, and maybe the fact that TNA doesn't do live shows in any way, was I thought they were leading to Stevie Turner going to TNA Impact to wrestle Jordynne Grace with, and that would have been fantastic, just because it's something different and something new. But obviously, we're going to see Jordynne Grace wrestle next week.
Having Jordynne just murder somebody on TV next week is going to build a lot of interest in Roxanne's gauntlet she's going to have to go through in wrestling Jordynne at Battleground. Mm-hmm. They need to remind the TV audience. I mean, you could tell. I mean, just look at Jordynne versus Roxanne. Nobody thinks, oh, that's going to be an easy match. But no, they're going to just demonstrate. I'm they might as well just have her come up and tear a phone book with her bare hands, like the Yellow Pages. That's a dated reference. But no, I think that having her destroy somebody on TV next week is going to be great. Unfortunately, poor Stevie Turner. We've been saying on this podcast for a year, what is going on? She's been on Level Up. She had the hacker gimmick. Apparently that's all said and done. She's in Ava's office, just begging for a title match. A hacker could put herself on the schedule. And talking about she's been overlooked and nobody cares. And they're like, oh, we'll give you a match. It's against Jordynne Grace.
I get it. I dig the Jordynne Grace wrestling before the PLE. Because like I said, it gives people a whole new chance to kind of have something to look forward to. Yeah, she's her champion, but I'm not. Let's say the casual viewer, they're probably thinking I just don't want to see somebody come in. Who is this girl? Oh, she's TNA. Oh, I got it. I can't even watch them on
that
TV.
Audience sold her tonight.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what it was. TNA chance. That was well done. Let's talk about this main event. Trick Williams and Javon Evans with Sexy Red versus Gallus, where Gallus lost. Trick and Javon won. Metaphor's music hit. Lash Legend came out to the ring, and it looked like something was going to go on for them. Legend was asking if Williams attacked Noam Dar or Noah Mensa. And the lights went out, and then I was like, oh, is Aleister Black showing up? Who's Tony Khan debuting now? In fact, maybe that's what it was. That this was an homage to AEW, because the lights came on and someone was attacking Trick Williams. And if you're like me and 70% of NXT watchers, you're like, who is that? Is that Big Body Javi? Who is that attacking him? And then they'd say, "Oh my God,
Okay.
it can't be." And then I was like, "Okay, guys, you got to fill me in here because I'm not recognizing this dude in a shirt." And they said, "Oh my God, it's Ethan Page. Isn't he in A?" And
Yeah,
then
I
it got cut
love
off.
that.
Yeah,
I love that so much. It's something so small, but it adds so much for the shock value.
it does.
Yeah, I was not expecting this at all. And again, I love this kind of mentality of let's try to just keep everything as a secret. Like it doesn't have to be. And obviously, Ethan Page,
Total secret.
he was never a world champion. I don't think he was either a TNT champion either in AEW. But this just a fun way. It kind of brings me back to a kid when I would watch guys go from WWF to WCW and vice versa. It
Yeah.
didn't matter who it was. You know, I remember it was, oh God, I'm such a nerd. April 10th, 2000 of WCW Nitro. You had like Mike Awesome show up. You had Sean Stasiak show up. Like I didn't care who it was. If they were coming from WWF or WCW or ECW, like I'm all in. This is so cool. And I can imagine how cool it must be for maybe some of the younger wrestling fans that really don't care about the politics and the tribalism. They just want to see wrestling. So for somebody to go from AEW, and he was just in AEW, what, 2, 3 weeks ago? And now he's showing up in WWE NXT and he's already there. And I'm like, dude, this is really, really cool. This to me is one of the favorite aspects of what pro wrestling is.
And it's kind of nice to see after AEW, I'm not gonna say built, I'm gonna say AEW supplemented
Mhm.
so much of their roster with former WWE talents. It's exciting to see former AEW talents go to NXT, um, which I think is the right place for them.
I think NXT is the right fit. He was never I don't want to use the word over, but he was never as big of a star in AEW, whether it was his own doing, whether it was the booking, whatever it is. The bottom line is he was never at that one of the top guys enough where it would make sense for him to be on the main roster. So I feel like NXT it really is the perfect fit for an Ethan Page.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be good. I think and he's still all ego, which is cool that they're keeping
Mhm.
everything about him. I mean, I'm assuming they're hot-shotting him to versus Trick
I
for
think so, yeah.
Battleground.
It's not because they haven't really announced an opponent anytime
I
soon,
mean, I
or
thought it was
they
Noam
haven't
Dar.
announced yet. Yeah, you would think so, but
This is good. I'm good with this. I mean, he's not winning.
no. Or maybe he
Um,
is.
I
I don't think he is.
yeah, I don't think he is. Let me come on.
But you're gonna give him a loss like literally what 10 days into your NXT run?
I mean, you can't have him versus Noam Dar and then he just attacks and causes a DQ and is like, "Ah, I'm crazy. You and me at Heat Wave." I don't know. I mean, he could, but I don't know.
Do you think maybe they're not gonna have Trick on the pay-per-view?
No, you got to. He's on the
You
poster.
think so?
Not that that means anything,
I
but
mean, I figure you have the women's championship, and this is a really big deal. NXT Women's Champion versus TNA Women's Champion. In my opinion, that's a main event in its own right.
yeah,
Have the show start with the women's ladder match, and then you have a lot of filler in the beginning. You have the tag team championships, Fraxium against the Good Brothers. So now that's 3 high profile matches. You got the NXT Women's Underground. So that's 4.
that ladder match. I don't know. I'm torn. That ladder match could be really dope. That could
I
go.
wouldn't be surprised if they have some form of Trick. I wouldn't be surprised if Trick is not in a match, but he has some kind of like in-ring appearance of some sort, or maybe a contract signing that sets up the match between Trick and Page for Heatwave.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I'm
mind
hyped
that.
for it. I'm more hyped for it after a night. I was looking forward to the
Yeah,
women's ladder match, but see, I think if Julia was going to show up and do that stare down, yes, the women's title match would be last.
but just this whole interpromotional thing, like
I agree.
that to me is such a big deal that put that in the main event and it's going to make it even a bigger deal, and it puts over the TNA champion, it puts over your NXT champion. I don't think we've really seen women. We've seen. I mean, I take that back. I think the last time we saw was it Becky and Tiffany. The
Yeah,
last time the women main evented a NXT PLE.
yeah, and that was dope.
Yeah, and so why not put, two ladies that never really touched the main roster on a full-time basis and really give them a chance to really shine and give them that spotlight. Like main events, I'm not saying they're overrated, but I'm saying the tickets are already sold. The subscription's already bought. Like, just put them in the main event. It's not gonna hurt anyone else on the card by putting, people that should be in the main event or at least deserve a main event to be in that spot.
Yeah, we'll see.